You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network. What is going on, NBL Network? I'm your host, Bomber, joined by my co-host for tonight's pregame show. That's right, Sonny Weaver. We got a great show in store for you tonight. That's right, broadcast number 53. We got the Oakland Raiders traveling to the Chicago Bears for an epic game, Week 5, Season 22. It's going to be a good one, Sonny.
Yeah, I'm excited about the game tonight. Obviously, Fat's record's not reflecting a great season, but I think he can put up a big fight here. But I think we got some great news going on around NBL, and I think we're going to get to that here.
Yeah, we actually have some great division rivals, division challenges going on this year. It looks like some new teams might be stepping up to take over some division crowns. And in the AFC East, we had a big game this week in Week 5. We had the Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins. The Jets came away with a 31-14 win. Now, this puts them pretty much ahead in the AFC East, Sonny. Does this solidify you as believing that this team is actually have a legitimate chance of winning that division and dethroning the back-to-back champion Buffalo Bills, who are struggling right now?
Yeah, process of elimination says the Jets are the team to beat right now. The Bills are struggling. They just got beat again by the Pittsburgh Steelers this evening. The Miami Dolphins look to be on the rebound. They got that win earlier in the year against the Buffalo Bills, but since then they've really not been able to string anything together. And the New England Patriots are just a mess right now. So, like I said, by process of elimination, it looks like the Jets are the team to beat.
Yeah, the Jets have a nice balance on the passing and running attack as their halfback Lockhart had 14 carries, 70 yards, and 2 touchdowns in a demonstrative win over the Miami Dolphins. Gabriel Woodson also coming up big, 12 for 23, 218 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And they've been getting great wide receiver play from the young wide receiver Robbie Anderson, who's pretty much been carrying that team as the number 1 option on the offensive end. Moving on to another division that's getting really tight down the stretch, and it's these Carolina Panthers. They took on the Atlanta Falcons this week in Week 5, and the Carolina Panthers were able to come away with a win, 24-16. Big win for Carolina, man. Are they a contender or a pretender at this point for that division title?
Carolina is definitely a contender for that division title. They were all over Blake Bortles, really putting a lot of pressure on that guy. The Falcons have not been able to rebound since last year. They got off to a slow start, just couldn't find any rhythm down the stretch. They're having some issues right now, and I think the Panthers are going to capitalize on that. One thing to watch, though, A.J. Green injured. He's going to miss about 5 weeks. That could have a big impact here on the Panthers, who have really found their number 1 since A.J. got to town.
Yeah, AJ's been playing great. He had 4 receptions and 45 yards versus the Falcons, but he is going to miss a little bit of time, and it's going to come a lot down to what I think is arguably one of the best halfback rookies in the NBL. That's Roman Rainey, 5'10", 217 pounds from Penn State University. This rookie was drafted in the mid to late second round in NBL season 22 rookie draft. But I'll tell you what, this guy's been putting up some pretty great numbers thus far. Already has 8 touchdowns in just 5 games played. Small sample size, but I think this guy's going to be what carries and drives this offense. Moving forward, we're going to be talking about NBL Blitz, Sonny. That's right. There's a new host for NBL Blitz, and that's Eddie Mars. What do you think this guy can go ahead and bring to this show? They're going to be doing a little bit of rebranding, and they're going to be coming back in 2 weeks. That's right. The Commissioner's Corner podcast will be live this Friday. And then a week after that, the NBL Blitz, a rebranded Blitz, is going to be coming led by Eddie Mars. That's right. He's the owner of our Tennessee Titans. He's going to be taking over that podcast. What kind of things do you expect from that show?
You know, Eddie did a really good job on the live draft, this past draft. Very informative. He's a guy that's got good takes on not just what's happening on the field, but he's an analytical guy. Somebody that I can appreciate as someone who likes analytics. He's going to take an analytical approach to some of these topics and so on. But he's also got a good feel for the game. And I would be excited to think what this guy's going to bring to the Blitz and the NBL network going forward.
Yeah, you look at a guy like Eddie Mars. You say he's an analytical guy, but how he's branding the NBL Blitz. It's bringing the heat. As you see the fire and the graphic, I mean, this is going to be some hard-hitting facts. I expect to see a lot of analytical numbers being used and thrown around to create these theories and these ideas that he believes is the reason why teams are having success, teams are failing, who should do what the team needs are. So I expect this show to really take off. Big shout out also to JY, who will be co-hosting that show, and I believe Doughboy and Gub are also going to be making contributor appearances on that show. Now moving on to our game right now, man. We're almost just minutes away from kickoff. This is broadcast number 53. We're actually coming live from Facebook Live. We're on Twitch. We're on Twitter right now. That's right. We're on Periscope, and we're also on our home station at YouTube. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe on our YouTube, and go ahead and give us a subscribe and a follow on Twitter as well as Twitch right now, and Facebook page as well, man. We're all over the place right now, Sonny.
Yeah, NBL expanding and growing, the more opportunity for people to watch what we're doing here on the NBL network. A lot of good things here. I think this game is going to be a great game for people to watch. I think it's two very contrasting styles. There should be a lot of fun things to watch here in this game.
All right, I'm going to ask the chat right now. We got some guys in there. Tim Hamilton, newly acquired NBL owner. That's right. He's going to be taking over the Kansas City Chiefs. Big shout out to Timbo out there. Was the number one prospect in grid for a while. Definitely earned his spot. NBL Tot is in the house. Deca Dog's in the house. Homer's in the house. Final score predictions. Where do y'all think this is going? Sonny, I'm going to go with you first. Final score, I'm going to remind you, this is Chicago at home. Draco defense at home is one of the toughest to play. They got elements in Chicago, and their defense always comes fast and furious.
With that said, and I think hashtag Derek Carr overrated.
Yeah.
I think Carr is going to throw some interceptions here, possibly one going back for a touchdown. So let's go ahead and go with the Draco defense. I will go 17-10 Bears in a relatively low-scoring game.
Yeah, I definitely could see that, but I'm going to go the other way with them, man. I like this Raiders team. Having formerly played them a couple weeks ago, I think 1-3 is definitely not reflective of the ability that this team has, and I think we're going to get a lot of Latavius Murray. He's my guess for prediction, as I should say, for NBL Live Player of the Game. This is broadcast number 53, so this will be our 53rd player of the game. I'm saying Latavius Murray. I'm saying these Oakland Raiders, and I'm saying it's going to be 24-10. Oakland over Chicago in an upset that's going to improve them to 2-3 and make their drive for that wild card spot that they always seem to be in the fight for come to a little bit more of a fruition heading into mid-season. But before we get to the game, Sonny, I want to say, thank you to everybody involved. Shout out to Gibbs, who's behind the scenes pulling the strings. It's becoming something we probably should put on a t-shirt at this point. Thanks to everybody listening. And if this is your first time watching or following us, we bring content like this all the time. As I said, this is our 53rd podcast. We are the leaders in full immersion gaming, and we are the self-proclaimed. And I don't even know if it's self-proclaimed at this point. It might just be a fact. We are the kings of the franchise mode. We're more than just a Madden league. We're more than a community. We're a brotherhood here at the NBL. So check us out at MaddenBomberLeague.com. Also, shout out to our host, DaddyLeagues.com. They're the best in the business as well, man. So we definitely can appreciate that. And right now, Sonny, without further ado, we're going to head to the field, man. We're going to head to the field and check out this game. We got the Bears and the Oakland Raiders coming up soon. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that.
Nobody comes into this house without paying the price.
Not here! Not ever!
Welcome everybody to NBL Live for this Week 5 matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Oakland Raiders. I'm Sonny Weaver. Alongside me today is the one, the only Bomber himself. Now, Bomber, this is a game of polar opposite. You've got the 3-1 Bears, who are obviously firmly in the wild card hunt and chasing your Detroit Lions, but you've got the Oakland Raiders sitting at 1-3 trying to get in the hunt for the wild card. What are the Raiders going to have to do this game to try to get back in that wild card hunt and beat a very tough Chicago defense?
Well, I'm looking at this Chicago defense. They're 3rd against the rush, 12th against the pass, 15th points allowed. This Draco defense is at mid-season form in Week 5, a little early, but I think they're doing it, man. And what do the Raiders have to do? They have to limit turnovers. Hashtag call overrated should not be a thing anymore. I'm saying that that's their only way to win. Limit the turnovers and ground and pound with Latavius Murray. This is a guy that gave you a lot of production last year. Latavius Murray had 1,100 yards, about 1,150 and 10 touchdowns, average 4.9 yards per carry. They got to get back to that kind of football.
And so the Chicago Bears are going to take the opening kickoff, and they're going to bring that out to about the 26-yard line. And that's where the journeyman, and weird to say, but the journeyman Matt Ryan will come out onto the field. He spent time, obviously, in Atlanta. He spent a year in Buffalo, and now here he is in Chicago looking to lead this Draco defense. Interesting to note, he is yet to throw a touchdown on the year. They've really leaned on the running backs, Jason Hayward and Duke Johnson Jr., to score those touchdowns. Do we expect something different here against Oakland in this game?
I don't expect much from Matt Ryan. He's having a really poor year, man. And production in Buffalo was decent last year. He threw at about 62%, 17 touchdowns, 24 interceptions. But this year, as you see, Matty Ice rolling out to the sideline, trying to make a throw to his big target, Alshon Jeffrey. It comes up incomplete. But let's go back to talking about Matt Ryan's dip-off in production. Last year was a 77 QBR. The year before that was 89 QBR with Atlanta. They released him, went to Buffalo, dropped down, and now he's dropped down even further. He's currently at a 5.3 QBR, 0 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, throwing at 56%. Big concerns in Chicago about Matt Ryan, but guess what, Chicago fans? It's okay because you got a rookie quarterback backing him up right now that you think the world of, and that's Max Bragg.
Yeah, interesting that Bragg doesn't get the start. They stay with the veteran Matt Ryan. So Bragg riding the bench, learning from the veteran. On second down, they give a handoff up the middle with not much happening. So that's going to set up a 3rd and 9 here for Matt Ryan coming out in a shotgun set. Duke Johnson in the backfield. You've got a bunch set off to the left as Ryan's going to drop back and look downfield. And he does find a receiver on the left-hand side, and that's Alshon Jeffrey for a big first down, first completion of the day for Matt Ryan. Gain of 11 yards on the play.
And you were asking about Matt Bragg earlier. He was a starter day one, week one, as I should say, against Green Bay. He played pretty well, QBR of 84, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But let's talk about Max Bragg a little bit. Injury concerns, second game he goes down. Matt Ryan comes in, and he hasn't looked back yet. Bragg was on the roster today to play, and Ryan's getting the start, man. They just feel comfortable. I mean, look at that 3rd and 9 they were just in. They pretty much easily pick it up. Because you have a quarterback like Matt Ryan, he's such a great veteran, and he's very poised in the pocket, and allows your team to grow with such a young core that this team has all around him.
Yeah, and when he gets help from his running backs, he's probably in a situation to do well. But so far this game, 2 rushes, 0 yards by Duke Johnson. Ryan under center here on second down. It's going to be another handoff to Johnson, who breaks it outside after starting inside. And now it's going to be a 5-yard gain on the play. Setting up a 3rd and 6 here for Ryan and the Chicago Bears offense.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Duke Johnson. He's off to a hot start. He's averaging over 10 yards per carry right now. Only on 15 carries last game. Was his first game back from injury that he suffered in the preseason. He had 15 carries, 157 yards, and 3 touchdowns in a debut game with Chicago in Week 4 versus the New York Giants. So we expect a lot of things from Duke Johnson today as Matt Ryan finds his target. Looks like number 83 down the middle, bringing him to the 33-yard line, and they're in Oakland territory.
Big catch by Braverman there. So Braverman takes him down to the 33-yard line. While we got a break here, I want to go ahead and thank everybody for joining us here on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook Live, and Twitch, of course. Make sure you like us and follow us for NBL future content. Ryan with the pitch outside here on first down, and not much happening there. Actually, it's going to be a loss of 1 on the ground. So Duke Johnson, 4 rushes for 4 yards so far in this game.
4 rushes, 4 yards. A little slow start for Duke Johnson, but we all know he's got that big play ability. He broke off a 60-yard run last week versus the Giants, who were playing a really tough rush defense as well. And Duke was able to make a couple big plays, and that's what got him 15 carries for 150-plus yards.
And Ryan does hand it up the middle, and it looked like there was a big gap there for Johnson, but it closes quickly. The Oakland defender bringing them down, and that's going to be Gaston on the play. So 3rd and 10. Asking a lot of Matt Ryan here once again to try to make something happen. 3rd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Matt Ryan's going to have to try to convert a big 3rd down here as they try to put points on the board.
Yeah, the Bears have struggled this year offensively. Once they get past midfield and they start pushing into their opponent's territory, it's like they really just, the running game kind of seems to stall out for them and puts the quarterback Matt Ryan in these kind of situations where, 3rd and 10, you're just looking not to throw an interception as he finds his tight end for an incomplete pass, number 87. Couldn't hold on to it. 4th and 10. Looks like they're going to be punting the ball, kicking the field goal here, about a 50-yard field goal for Chicago.
Yeah, and they're going to set up for the field goal attempt here. That was a big hit on the play, jarring the ball, but the ball is down. The kick is up, and it looks like it's just going to have enough leg to get over the upright. So Chicago goes up 3 here in Chicago. 2 minutes, 59 seconds left in the first quarter. So As Chicago gets ready to kick the ball off here, we're going to get our first chance to see Derek Carr in this Oakland offense. Now, Bomber, pregame, you talked about the running back, Latavius Murray. What do you like about Latavius Murray in this matchup against the Chicago Bears defense?
Well, on paper, I don't like much at all. It doesn't seem like a great matchup, but I'm telling you, Latavius Murray is primed to break out right now. He's kind of off to a slow start. As I said, he's down about a yard per carry right now at 3.9. Last year he was 5. He hasn't had a huge game in 3 of the 4 weeks, but he did have a huge game against Detroit, was 13 carries, 106 yards. Last week in Denver, only 9 carries, 9 yards, so I expect him to go back to Latavius Murray.
And so with Latavius Murray in the backfield, the Oakland Raiders are going to attempt to bring Derek Carr out here, trying to rebound. Obviously, this Oakland offense has had its struggles this year, but looking for big things here from Carr and Murray. So Carr's going to set up underneath, and it's going to be a handoff to Murray, who makes a move to the outside, does run into some traffic, but fights through the tackles for a 5-yard gain, and good first rush there by Latavius Murray.
Yeah, 5 yards they'll definitely take it in Oakland. Anything to keep the pressure off of hashtag Carr overrated. And those first-time joiners right now watching our broadcast wondering, what's hashtag Carr overrated? Well, it's the most trending hashtag in NBL history. That's right, 2 seasons of that. Hashtag Carr overrated was alive and well. They had to go to a power running game. Derek Carr just couldn't find his rhythm in previous seasons. As right there, it looks like he avoids the sack somehow. He's Houdini. Derek Carr must be Houdini right there in the pocket as he avoided and eluded the defense for at least 5 to 7 seconds in there. Sonny, I don't know how he did that.
Derek Carr has been taking some dancing lessons. I'm not sure if they brought Victor Cruz on to teach him the salsa or what that dance move was, but him moving in the pocket there was a thing of beauty as he jumped in and out of the pocket, scrambled for the first down. And I got to tell you right now, I'm impressed with that footwork by Derek Carr in the pocket.
Yeah, a lot of people said this offensive line was a great rush, a great rushing O-line. They had some great run blocking, but they really lacked in the pass blocking, and Carr wasn't getting enough time, and his lack of mobility was really hurting this team. But, man, it looks like in the offseason he might have been taking some dance classes, maybe watching a little Dancing with the Stars, Calvin Johnson, Antonio Brown, because he was slicing and dicing there with his legs and was able to pick up a few yards, and now they're moving the chains with a 1st and 10 versus this Draco defense that's just so deadly.
So the first down on that last play was the seldom used John Brown, big all-season acquisition, only seeing 3 catches so far this year. So they're looking to get him more involved in the game as they hand the ball off to Latavius Murray, who cuts back against the grain. Good run on the play. It's going to be about a gain of 8. So far, Latavius Murray, as you point out, having a good game so far. No big plays, but he's being consistent, getting 5 to 8 yards on the run.
And shout out to the chat. Chino, what is going on, brother? This is a guy that makes a lot of our graphics here in the NBL as well. Make sure you check him out if you're looking for some affordable graphic design. He does some high-quality work for the NBL, and it really allows our graphics to pop, man. And as you can see on the screen, man, he does some great work.
Yeah, and so Finneran catches at the number 2 tight end, so that's going to be a first down. And I'm impressed so far early in this game, Oakland moving the ball, working underneath, Derek Carr finding the open receiver, not trying to force it downfield, and doing exactly what the coaching staff has asked him to do here coming into this game. Latavius Murray in the backfield, Watt moving right to left. Hole on the left-hand side. Murray sees it, but gets snuffed out. The linebacker makes a great play on the run there, and so that's going to be KJ Wright, on the tackle. Good stop there for a loss of 1.
Yeah, 2nd and 11. Let's see if Derek Carr can get the offense moving here, possibly throw and drive the ball down the field a little bit in the passing game.
Carr in the pocket, but big pressure coming from the outside, and that's going to be a splash play. Everybody who's playing the drinking game, go ahead and take a drink there as Callahan gets a big sack on the play, set up 3rd and 18.
Yeah, they like to use Bryce Callahan in the slot there, and he really can get to the quarterback fairly quickly. Was one of their leaders in sacks last year. His edge blitzing ability and his rushing really caught teams off guard, especially in long down and distance, as Carr tries to force it over the middle, gets nothing, and they're going to be in a 4th and 18 punting situation for the Oakland Raiders.
And that is where Carr overrated becomes a big deal. Derek Carr, when in good down and distances, can make good decisions, but it always seems when he gets behind in the count and distance that things happen that are not good, and that would be one of those right there, nearly intercepted. So Chicago is going to field the punt. Good move in there, but he's only going to go down to the 19-yard line, and that's where Matt Ryan's going to bring the Chicago Bears offense out, who had a good drive down the field but stalled in the red zone. So Chicago's going to come out here up 3-0 with about 9 seconds left in the quarter.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to close this quarter out with a 3-0 lead for Chicago, and they're happy with that. They're cool with playing this slow down, pace game when they don't have to put up a lot of points, and they really allow their defense to set the pace for this game. And that's how Chicago has always played. That's how Draco has always played, and that's when they have their most success. Oakland, on the other hand, they need to put up points. They need to allow their defense to give up a little bit because their defense isn't that great, and their offense has to carry them and put some points on the board.
And so at the end of one, it's 3-0 here in Chicago. Chicago with the ball, 2nd and 10. Now, what was interesting on the last drive by Oakland, they did move it down the field well, but they got stopped short. As you mentioned, Chicago's a team that's comfortable playing with a small lead. Oakland, however, is not that kind of team. So it's important here for Chicago to keep piling on the points as they hand the ball off to Duke Johnson. A big hole, but there's a flag down, and that one looks like it's coming back for holding.
Yeah, holding against the offense going to put this team in a little bit of a hole here, 2nd and 19 for Chicago. And like I said, this team is, they're predicated on their defense, the Draco defense. If you're new to the NBL, Sonny, give people an idea of what the Draco defense is really about and how they dictate the pace of the game.
Well, the Draco defense is actually a defense built to not let up anything deep. So they're going to basically make you wait it out, make you work underneath, work down the field. It's not going to be big gains given up. They're going to make you cut them, 10, 12, 14 plays. And the thought is eventually you're going to mess that up. And that's where the defense steps up. Obviously, we saw in the last series, Callahan with the big sack, threw off the down and distance, and that was the end of the drive. And that's basically what you get with that defense.
Little shotgun formation for the quarterback as number 83 comes up with a big play on the sideline as they go into deep 3 cover man defense. Matt Ryan slices and dices and picks up the first down for Chicago.
Yeah, Matt Ryan there, he didn't have much pass rush coming at him. There are only 3 down linemen. Oakland, they're playing a lot of off coverage. Kind of surprising there that they give him that much time to throw. Matt Ryan dropping back here on first down, does dump it off to Duke Johnson. Finally gets Johnson out in space, letting Johnson use a little bit of that speed and agility out there. If the run is not going to work, those short dump-off passes are a great way to get Johnson involved in this game.
All right, I'm going to shoot it to you straight about these Oakland Raiders and their defense, reason why they're 24th and 25th against the rush, and they just really lack an identity. It's that 3rd and long right there that we just saw. Little play action right there. Matt Ryan, as he's going to go underneath to number 87, takes it to about the 45-yard line. They're in Oakland territory right now, but here's the problem with the Raiders, Sonny. They got into that 3rd and long, right, and instead of sending any pressure, they go on a 3-man rush and drop guys back and play a little man coverage. You can't do that with the veteran quarterback like Matt Ryan. They have to understand who they're playing and what the strengths and weaknesses of the teams they're playing. They are just still trying to find themselves on the defensive end. Obviously, Khalil Mack is their star player, but they just don't have the players that are really making the plays anymore, and they're not sending the pressure, which I think is actually their strength on defense.
Yeah, you've got these expensive linebackers and pass rushers. You got to get them involved in this game as Duke Johnson takes the handoff up the middle there for a couple yards. 7 rushes, 9 yards for Duke Johnson. Not a whole lot happening in this game for good old Duke Johnson. But Matt Ryan having a good game, 6 for 8.
Oh, great game.
83 yards. And he's doing exactly what you expect a veteran to do. He's working underneath, not pushing it downfield, taking what's there, not taking any risks. And I think that's the game plan coming into this game.
Yeah, you see a guy like Matt Ryan at this stage of his career, you don't expect much as Duke Johnson goes to the outside and uses a little bit of a hesitation and falls forward, and now they're in a 3rd and inches, and you can do a lot here, Sonny. This is the opportunity to get Matt Ryan his first passing touchdown with the Chicago Bears, as we're already in week 5. That's a little concerning if I was the Chicago Bears. But mind you, he's only played 3 games. Max Bragg got hurt in about 3/4 of the way through week 2. So Matt Ryan, still no touchdowns in 3 games. Not looking very good for him in that regard. But Matt Ryan really, and they go for the run on 3rd and inches. I think they could have ran a little bit of play action there. Maybe took a shot down the field. It's going to put them at a 4th and 4, and they're going to take another field goal here to look to go up 6-0, pending this field goal being made. And this is going to be about a 56-yarder. Looks like they're having second thoughts for the Chicago Bears. Now, I really like how Chicago has established themselves passing the ball. And I think that was an opportunity to run a little play action and see if you can take a deep shot with Matt Ryan, possibly to Alshon Jeffrey down the field, or even Kevin White. What do you guys think? Was that an opportunity missed by Chicago right there? I'm going to ask the chat right now and see if we can get your thoughts. As Chicago's going to punt this ball. A very nice punt within the 10 to about the 7-yard line, and they're going to take it to about the 10-yard line. So 90 yards to go for the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, and that's a great point there. The second guessing of what you're going to do is always tough. Chicago not willing to give up good field position. Obviously, that punt sets them back at the 10-yard line, whereas if they miss that field goal or something else goes awry there, they get it all the way up on the 38, 40-yard line. So good play there by the Chicago coaching staff. And there's many NBL Live games we've seen this year where bad coaching decisions have come back to bite teams in the butt. So you get Murray in the backfield, it's going to be a handoff, and he makes a move to the outside, but he gets stuffed right away. Latavius Murray not having the big game yet. He started out well, but so far things have kind of tailed off for that. I expect to get that going again, but I think play action on first down would help the Oakland Raiders a lot, get a play action shot downfield, as we're seeing a lot of man on first down.
Yeah, I think Oakland's becoming a little too predictable right now. I think that was an opportunity on first down on their 10 to take a shot down the field, honestly. And I would like to have seen, and they missed the middle of the field wide open right there on the left. A little post seemed to get wide open against that cover 2 zone, split the safeties, and it looked like Derek Carr just went away from it and went to a safety blanket, Tyler Eifert, who's from Cincinnati. And Eifert, man, he hasn't really lived up to the plays. He's kind of battled some injuries since joining the Oakland Raiders. 17 catches, 181 yards thus far, and 1 touchdown for Eifert. Obviously still has a little bit left in the tank, Tyler Eifert. Dangerous throw by Derek Carr there, but the reception was made. And it looks like it's going to not be enough, and they're going to be punting again. Quick 3 and out for Oakland right there. Really just kind of, if you're an Oakland fan, you're kind of shaking your head going, man, that's pretty bad offense thus far. This Draco defense is really getting to us.
Yeah, the play was ran, and I'm not sure if they thought they were going to get man or what on that play, but he throws into double coverage. Not a smart play. And so for the Chicago Bears to get the ball back here, get a chance to put some more points up here on half, Oakland's got to find a way to score. This defense is smothering. And any chance you get where you go 3 and out, that's a bad day, and that's exactly what the Draco defense is looking to do.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to start about the 41. Good field position for the Draco offense. We don't talk about this offense being deadly very much, and that's because they're really not. They don't really move the ball much on offense. 17 points per game. That's 24th in the NBL. 32nd in passing at 133. You expect a little bit more with Matt Ryan, but he's playing in the system now. So he's in this system right now that just looks not to turn the ball over and to let that defense give this offense a chance and play a little bit of field positioning game as well. Matt Ryan just makes me look so wrong right there as he just adds the needle to a seam route on the left side, and now the Bears are at the 38-yard line and pushing possibly into field goal range.
Yeah, I would put that on the wide receiver. He reached over the defender there, snagged that over the shoulder, and that was just a great play by the wide receiver there.
They isolate Jeffrey to the left side.
Shotgun formation for Matt Ryan right here. Split it to the left. That's right. That's the halfback as he's going to be sent to block. Quick underneath throw to number 83. Matt Ryan's 8 for 10, 104 yards. 2nd and 7, minute 14. The clock is ticking. 2 timeouts for Chicago. Can they get in the end zone right now, Sonny Weaver?
Yeah, I think they can. They just got to hurry this offense up here and try to put some points up. Don't wait around. Move the ball here and move it quick.
Yeah, I absolutely think that, man. I think that they maybe just settled a little too much right here. I think they just let some valuable time come off the clock. They didn't want to get into a hurry up. It's a 2nd and 7. They're going to run the ball, and it looks like maybe pick up actually lose a yard with Duke Johnson, who's 9 rushes, 5 yards, who had a huge game last week, seems to be struggling. Both rushing games seem to be struggling a little bit.
Yeah, and when I worry that the coaching staff thinks they're content just to be in field goal range here. Obviously, 36-yarder, from the 36-yard line, that's still a relatively long field goal. So here on 3rd and 8, they need to get at least 5 yards back to feel comfortable with that.
Look at Matt Ryan, what he does right there. So, he gets out there in shotgun, and he's showing an aggressive set. The defense knows, hey, man, we got to get this pass rush on them. They might be taking a shot here down the field. We got to get to him, and Matty Ice just uses his veteran savvy and comes out with a hard count on this team and gets them off sides, hikes the ball, and takes the run. And now it's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Chicago Bears. Man, I really love how Matt Ryan is pretty much just, and I don't want to say managing the game because he has the ability not to be a game manager, but in this system, that's kind of what they asked of the quarterback, and he knew that was the job when he took this offer in free agency and left Buffalo, where he was allowed to really sling the ball to Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, and that was total veteran move there, getting that false start. Set up here, they could run, they could pass. A lot of things they can do here.
And they're going to stay with the run. Very predictable. And I think you called it earlier, Sonny. I don't know what the chat's saying, but I 100% after Matt Ryan made that really tight window throw on the seam, they decided we're going to take a field goal here. It's going to be about a 49-yard field goal attempt for the Chicago Bears. And pending this field goal going in, they'll be going up 6-0, and the ball looks like it's going to go short. Short kick for Chicago. Missed opportunity there, Sonny. How do you feel about the Chicago Bears just laying themselves on the line here for, basically a field goal and then coming up with nothing?
You can't play for the field goal, and that's one of the most frustrating things you're ever going to see here on NBL Live. You cannot play for the field goal because things can happen. Things can be blocked. You've got to try to score every time. The fact they played for the field goal, if they lose this game, we're going to look back at that play and say that drive is why they lost this game.
And Oakland got an opportunity here. They burn a timeout. Oh, look, they're going to go into a no-huddle themselves. Maybe they get right back in here and tie this game up 3-3.
And that's what we need to do here if I'm Oakland. We're going to move the pace here, try to get in range for a quick field goal.
And there goes Carr overrated again, man. He got a guy wide open in the middle of the field. You got a timeout. Pick up the yards. And then try to get something outside out of bounds and try to get your field goal unit on the field. But it just looks like, Oakland is just. I think Carr's biggest problem is he has what's open in front of him, and he just tries to really just stare at that deep receiver down the field. Intermediate to deep is what he likes to throw. In this situation, he just didn't have the understanding that, look, we got a timeout. We don't have to get in field goal range with this pass right now. This can set us up. As there goes a Draco defense coming, going to leave them 7 seconds left. 4th and 1. They're going to have to punt here for Oakland. And that's how we're going to go into the half.
Yeah, a big loss leaving those points on the board for Oakland. I felt like they had a shot there, 48-yard line. You got to protect better than that. The halfback, Latavius Murray, misses the pick up there. He goes play action. If you're Derek Carr, you've got to check that play action, cancel it, let your running back block. Instead, he lets it come through, and that was a big amount of pressure there for him to handle there, and that was the difference at some points in this half.
So we're going to go into the halftime, and that's right, we're live on all platforms right now, Sonny. That's right, Periscope on Twitter, Facebook Live. We're on Twitch Live right now. We're on YouTube. That's our home for the NBL Network. You can find our extensive NBL Live library on our NBL Network page on YouTube. Make sure you check that out. Give us a like, and also give us a subscribe, man. If you like this content, we produce this, 3-4 times a week, man, and we got all this stuff coming out. We have live podcasts. We're your home for Madden 17 franchise mode, full immersion content. That's exactly what we offer.
So we talked about pregame. My prediction was 17-10. I believe you were in the 20s. Not a lot of scoring here. Draco defense doing its thing, but actually Oakland's done a good job of maintaining and keeping this offense from Chicago while not explosive. The running game's been pretty good this year, and they've completely shut it down. So we're seeing a game where it looks like the first person to make a mistake is going to be the team that loses. So who do we think here in the second half is going to make the mistake that costs them this game?
Well, history tells us hashtag Carr overrated is overrated for a reason. As a quick out route, nice jump on the ball. Those Draco defense corners right there, and you think you have an out route, and Perry just makes a great play on an opportunity that if he misses and whiffs on that, Sonny, that's to the house. So the Draco defense really just playing some great football right now, and they're playing aggressive too. They're not just playing this drop back defense. We saw aggressive man coverage on first down and now on second down as well. So I think the Raiders need to get out of their shell and get a little bit less predictable right now and try to drive the ball down the field.
Yeah, so after half, we're getting some new predictions. John Blevin says 14-10 Oakland. Bananas is saying 17-14 Chicago. Very interesting, thinking they're going to still put up that many points here in this half.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see either team really putting up many points. And if anyone does, I think Carr gets a little, quick at the trigger and throws a bad pass that he wishes he could get back. I could see it going that way. But Oakland's offense has been pretty much pitiful and non-existent thus far in the first half of this game. And it's really just, it's showing on the scoreboard. They got 0 points. Chicago's got 3 points. It's been pretty much just a dogfight. And I'm looking at this game, and I'm thinking I could see this being 9-3 and a finish and Chicago winning this game.
Well, I'm hoping somebody turns it up soon. It wouldn't be the first time we've had to give NBL Live Player of the Game to a kicker, but I'm not looking forward to doing it again. So somebody needs to try to do something here to change the outcome of this game.
Matt Ryan coming out in single back, a little play action, and now the Bears are getting a little aggressive. Alshon Jeffrey down the midfield to the 50. Excuse me, Kevin White. Matt Ryan finds Kevin White. Kevin White has been pretty consistent this year. Target for Matt Ryan. I told you they haven't thrown the ball very much, but he's 10 catches, 124 yards, no touchdowns, no big explosive plays for Kevin White. That might be his longest reception of the season, but he gets them down to the 49-yard line, and they're approaching that Oakland territory, man, and you know what the Bears like to do when they get past that 50-yard line? They like to settle for field goals. Coming out in shotgun, Matt Ryan, Duke Johnson split to the right, and here comes that Oakland Raiders defense sending the heat. A little flat on the play, maybe a late hit on Matt Ryan, and that's exactly what we got. 1st and 10 to the 34-yard line, and now they are in field goal range, so mark this down for a field goal for Chicago. Unless they actually start getting a little aggressive, I don't see them getting 7 here.
Yeah, and what's interesting, and I'm surprised Chicago hasn't picked up on it. Maybe you could say they did, but Oakland running a lot of man coverage on first down. Back-to-back there on first down, running some man coverage. If I'm Oakland, I'm expecting man coverage here, expecting to try to beat it with some sort of man beater.
Yep, and there goes a fumble picked up by the Raiders. Down goes, that's Hardy. That's the former Detroit Lion NBL Season 21 Super Bowl champion. Greg Hardy says he's got a little bit left in his tank, and he's still making plays, Sonny. He played so great with Detroit last year. I was surprised they let him go. He had 9 sacks, and he's still doing his thing for the Oakland Raiders now, putting them to the 22. Does this change things in your viewpoint on a final score right now, Sonny?
Well, I don't know if it changes his view on the final score, but that is a splash play, folks, and we talk about them changing the outcomes of games, and there's the first turnover of the game, and that could be huge as long as the Oakland Raiders and Derek Carr doesn't screw this up.
And that's a big possibility as they're still continuing to run on first down, picked up 5 yards there, and I see Draco defense, a lot of man coverage on that first down. It's time for Carr to take a little bit of a shot, maybe a post, maybe a slant, maybe a C route, maybe a crossing route, something to get Amari Cooper going and throw it to him while he's moving down the field as Carr just stares and takes another sack, and now it's going to put him in a 3rd and long. So that 5 yards that was gained by Latavius Murray on first down goes in the can as it's going to be 3rd and 13 on the 25-yard line for the Oakland Raiders. This is going to be a pretty easily defensible position for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, for sure, and Carr overrated, taking a sack there. He easily could have thrown it away at all the time in the world. When someone's not there early in the progression, you just let it go, get it out of bounds, and not give up the sack. Now 3rd and 13. I wouldn't be surprised. This is classic Derek Carr interception territory. Thinking he needs the touchdown here when a field goal is fine. He's going to push it downfield, and watch for a big splash play here, whether that's a sack or an interception for the Chicago Bears.
Oh, and there's over the middle. He finds Harden. That's the young wide receiver that the Oakland Raiders really like. It's Kendall Hunden. Excuse me. He's got 22 catches, 381 yards on the season. He's been with the Raiders for 3 seasons. He was drafted. It was a 6th-round pick, 6'4", 224 pounds. As the Raiders kick goes through, and they knock this game up at 3. But this Kendall Hunden, I'm really impressed with him, Sonny. 24 years old. He's got all the physical ability that you need. He's athletic. He's got the speed. He's 6'4", big frame, 224 pounds. I'm surprised we haven't seen much of him. He had a breakout game versus Jacksonville, 7 catches, 164 yards. He's the number 2 threat on this Oakland Raider team next to Amari Cooper, and they have big plans for this guy in this Oakland Raider offense.
Yeah, it's tough to be in anybody's shadow when you're 6'4", but somehow Cooper finds a way to overshadow the 6'4" Hunden. Something to watch here. Hunden, not necessarily the deep threat at 6'4". You would think they'd push it downfield a little bit more, but that's not really how they play in Oakland. Hunden with that big drop down, definitely something they're worried about. I'm a little surprised Oakland didn't take more of a shot there on the turnover. You get the big turnover, you expect man coverage, you got to take that shot deep. Oakland settles for 3, and that could be big later in this game.
Yeah, you needed Oakland to come away with 7 there to really put some pressure on Chicago, and Chicago's coming out throwing on first down. Matt Ryan is liking what the defense is showing him on these first down coverages, and that's when he seems to pick up most of his yards, that 1st and 10 against this Oakland Raider defense. Now, coming off a turnover, we expect Matt Ryan to, kind of bring it back a little bit, slow it down, simplify this game plan, and drive down the field and put some points on the board. As the defense only gave up 3, man, that's a real positive sign for this Oakland as he waits for some really nice blocking down the field on that toss. And Duke Johnson, it just shows his patience right there, and they're able to pick up a couple when really the Raiders played that offense very well on that play.
Yeah, 11 for 7 for Duke Johnson. Not the game we expected from him. I'd be curious if Hayward gets a couple more carries. Hayward with a little bit more of the grinded out mentality so far this year for the Chicago Bears. Duke Johnson's been more of their big play halfback. Maybe some more Hayward here if we're going to get in a grinded out game.
Couple comments in the chat as Alshon Jeffrey hits a quick post, takes him to about the 44-yard line, and now they're in Oakland territory. Once again, I've said this multiple times. Let's see what Matt Ryan can do with it. As Juggernaut in the chat said, Derek Carr equals lemon. Carr equals lemon. Nice little play there. I like that one. Carr equals lemon. What do y'all guys think about that one? Derek Carr, obviously, he's had his ups and downs since we started this journey, NBL season 19 and Madden 17. Carr has not been as consistent as he was in previous seasons in the NBL, and his consistency has just been up and down, and it's really wavered on his opponents. And playing this Draco defense, we're really seeing the struggling offense in Oakland.
Yeah, but let's talk about for a second a quarterback that's not struggling. Matt Ryan, 12 for 14, very efficient so far this game. Not a big play quarterback right now, roughly 140 yards on the day, but 12 of 14, very efficient day so far for the veteran Matt Ryan.
And just on cue, Matt Ryan goes down, sack number 97. Going to put him at a 3rd and 14. And we're talking efficiency, Sonny. He's been great. But they only got 3 points. And he's the reason the other team has 3 with a fumble, a sack fumble, which was, it was on him. So Matt Ryan, as great as he's been playing, if he doesn't put any points on the board, if they end up losing this game, you can say he's throwing 95%, but that turnover might come back and really cost this stagnant offense of the Chicago Bears as they try to pick up a first down. 87 comes across the field, and he just goes out of bounds. I mean, couldn't turn his body and get upfield, so now they're going to be at another long field goal. This is going to be about a 56, 57-yard field goal for the Chicago Bears. Third quarter, 49 seconds left, 3-3. Big field goal here. If he misses this one, this might be another one, and it's up. It's away, and it's through, and that's going to be 6-3. Chicago's up. 41 seconds left in the third. Low-scoring game. I was completely wrong about the score of this game. I think I underestimated the Draco defense a little bit, Sonny.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. I'm not sure anybody expected both sides to be as low-scoring as this. Surprised the kicker hits that one after being short on the last one. Looks like he made some adjustments to put that one through. Now, here's the thing. We are in Draco defense territory. Obviously, 6-3. Not much happening here. If you're Derek Carr, you've got to go on a long drive here. I think if you can score a touchdown here on a long drive, taking 3 to 4 minutes off the clock, I'm not sure the Chicago Bears offense, which is really built around short, intermediate passing, not really the deep ball, I'm not sure they'll be able to put up enough points to win this game. So if you're Derek Carr, this is a big drive for you. Don't have to go deep quick, but you got to work down the field.
Yeah, you got to drive the ball down the field. As they look to come out in the screen, and they're going to audible out of that. Smart move by Derek Carr right here. I need to see something vertically, and I need to see these wide receivers. And he goes right back to the screen. Little fake out on the defense, and he picks up the block. And there goes Washington down to about midfield, the 49-yard line, 7 of 12, 64 yards, Derek Carr. See, that right there tells me he's not really driving the ball down the field. Seven receptions for his wide receivers, only 64 yards. Very, very low on that completion per yard for Derek Carr. And I think the Draco defense pressure is getting to him, man. He's feeling he's got to release that ball fairly quickly.
Yeah, and Derek Carr right now, not a whole lot of confidence here, although you can expect man coverage here. So if you're Derek Carr, try to throw something to beat the man.
Little run up the middle on the inside zone, and that's going to be a pickup of 7 for Latavius Murray, 2nd and 3 for the Oakland Raiders, and they're approaching field goal range again and might have a field goal shootout, and they might force us to choose a field goal kicker for this player of the game.
Don't do it. Don't make us do it.
And there goes Bryce Callahan again off the edge, slot cornerback, pretty much playing outside linebacker and getting a hit with that high speed. Sonny, how do you feel about that cornerback getting all these sacks against this Oakland Raider defense?
I'm feeling like Callahan is giving us an opportunity to give someone else player of the game, and I'm okay with that at this point.
Well, I also don't want to sleep on Greg Hardy over there. He's the man who got that sack fumble for Oakland. If Oakland can somehow come away with this in this field goal shootout. We also got 2, so that's 2 defensive players, defensive side of the ball, looking to get this player of the game early on as we start this fourth quarter. 6 minutes left in NBL Live broadcast number 53, and we are streaming on multiple platforms as Derek Carr throws against 3 defenders to Amari Cooper. When in doubt, air it out. I think that's the motto in Oakland.
Derek Carr not even trying to read the field at this point. He's getting a little antsy just trying to get his boy Cooper. not working out there. Dangerous throw. Could have resulted in something a lot worse. So, fourth quarter here in Chicago. We haven't talked about one of our sponsors yet today, so I want to give them a shout out. Web3ks.com. Make sure you check out Web3ks.com for all your affordable graphic needs.
And all right, here we go. 4-yard line. Chicago Bears, 6-3. They're in I formation. You know they're going to run it. No, they're not. They're dropping back with Matt Ryan. He throws underneath. And Alshon Jeffrey, I think that right foot was close to that end zone, man. That could have turned deadly for them. 14 for 16, 166 yards. Draco looking like Drago. Throwing the ball to Alshon Jeffrey there on a nice quick drag. Got to get rid of it early, especially if you're going to come out in I formation and show that run. You know the defense might be blitzing, and that's exactly what happened. And now they're on about the 10-yard line. What do you think about this Chicago offense thus far? You think they got what it takes to move this ball and eat up a little bit of clock?
Yeah, it's just eating clock there. I like the leg drive there by Alshon Jeffrey, not to go down for only a 2-yard gain, but instead turn it into a 6-yard gain.
And look what happens. There goes Alshon Jeffrey over the middle of the field. A little play-action post shot against the cover two. Splits the safeties. The linebacker just wasn't going to stay with them. Matt Ryan knew it was just a matter of time. Showed some patience in the pocket like the true veteran that he is. And here's my question. So Max Bragg is, he's coming back. He's working back. They say he's about 80% right now. He's the rookie they drafted. This was the guy that was supposed to start week 1. He started week 1. But due to his injury, we are where we are right now. Is Matt Ryan the guy moving forward based on this game you've seen thus far? I don't see how they go away from this veteran and maybe let Max Bragg work from underneath him.
Yeah, I think you ride Matt Ryan for a little bit. He's not going to lose you games. He's not going to win you games, but he's just going to be a guy there. Now, in Chicago, if you decide that you need a little bit more out of the quarterback position, Bragg may give you that. But you got to understand the rookie's going to have his issues, some turnovers, some different things throughout the year. So I think right now you've got a winning formula. Safe quarterback and good defensive play can take these Bears to the playoffs.
As Duke Johnson runs for a little bit of a gain, I guess. 3rd and 8 for the Chicago Bears. They're at the 42, and the clock's at 4:12, 4:11. So we're ticking down here, Sonny. Still only a 3-point game. Oakland's right in here. Can this offense turn on a switch and get it going for the Oakland Raiders?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Chicago's got to figure out what they're doing here. They're sticking with the run game, 13 run attempts, not much happening, but the Raiders got to stop them here on this big 3rd down play.
And there's a sack by the Oakland Raiders. Down goes Ryan. Alden Smith picks up 1.5 sacks for this game. 4th and 14, and the Bears are punting and back to this field position marathon that we've been involved in, guys. I apologize for this. Usually it's a lot more high scoring in the NBL, but that's what you get when you get the Draco defense on. They take you back to the 80s, and they start just playing this field position, high-quality defense, sending the blitz on the Oakland Raiders right now, and it just seems to have stopped them a little bit. I just wonder what they game plan for going into this game, and it just seems like they've been off on all accounts on offense.
Well, don't go anywhere, folks, because I'll tell you what, get ready. This is Carr overrated, Carr interception territory. Carr tries to push it too much here, and we may get to see a fun pick 6. I think I called a pick 6 before this game. I'm not giving up hope here. Derek Carr feeling the pressure, down 3. I think we're going to see him air it out here on 1st down.
And a little cross screen right here. I've been waiting for these screens for Oakland. I think they really have an opportunity to get something with these screens, especially on 1st down. I don't think the Chicago Bears are necessarily looking for anything quick underneath. They're looking for Carr to drive the ball down the field, and they're sending a little bit of heat. So 2nd and 6 for this Oakland team.
Yeah, and I was surprised here. Latavius Murray cuts it back inside instead of working outside. It felt like there was a lot of room to the outside. He could have taken that.
And nice throw to the outside. There's Cooper. And here's a throw right here. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's break down what just happened with Derek Carr. So he read man coverage. He knew he had Amari on the quick out. Why did he wait the extra 2 yards to where that quick out basically had him pinned against the sideline? He couldn't turn back upfield. If he would have thrown that just a little bit earlier against that cover 1, that's to the house. That's Amari Cooper. That's yards after the catch right there. He needs to throw that ball right at the point of the break and allow Cooper to take that quick out and turn it back upfield. But just that hesitancy, because Cooper does not trust this Draco defense right now. He's playing a little bit scared as he hits a drag, and they're going to get tackled. It's still going to be 2nd and about 7 for the Oakland Raiders. They're at the 45. And underneath, man, a great tackle right there by the Chicago Bears defense. But back to my point, Carr just seems a little off, man. I don't know if the car's a lemon yet. but it's pretty much getting there. That's what Cortez Logan said earlier. Juggernaut said that, excuse me. So I think we're getting to that point, though. I mean, I'm really seeing a lot of deficiencies in Derek Carr's game.
2 for 15. That's the stat line for Amari Cooper at this point in the game.
Yeah, you got to get him more involved. Shotgun, Derek Carr dropping back. Here goes the edge pressure. Amari Cooper over the middle on a slant. And, baby, we're in field goal range. You know what that means. You know what that means. That means it's probably going to end up like that. Another cornerback blitz for the Draco defense. I've seen a lot of that today, trying to use the speed of those slot corners just to get pressure. I mean, I'm seeing that a lot. You got to start beating that because that just seems to be the way that this defense is being built to get pressure on the quarterback. So when you see those cornerbacks coming in, you got to have a release. And that's exactly what he did. He threw Cooper on a streak over there, and he took the place of where the blitzer was coming from, and he picked up some big yards.
Yeah, big catch by Amari Cooper. We just talked about him not being involved in this game, and here we go, setting up for a big play for Oakland Raiders.
And there we have a Doug Goodwin sighting. Picks up 2 yards underneath for the Oakland Raiders. But I like to see Carr getting a little bit of his rhythm going, you know. And we like to see him, get a little confidence because he's really been lacking that. I think there's a couple throws he wish he could have back. But the Draco defense made some great plays early on, and there's a run up the middle to Latavius Murray here. All right, so it's going to be about a 3rd and 6. If you don't pick this up, Sonny, what's the chances you go for it on 4th down right now?
If I'm Oakland, I'm not sure I do that. Chicago hasn't shown an ability to score themselves. I think we're waiting here eventually for somebody to screw it up and have the big turnover. So I think I go with the field goal and hope that Matt Ryan or Duke Johnson or someone else turns the ball over. But if I'm Oakland, I'm not going for it here yet.
But you know Oakland's coach, Jack Del Rio, he's pretty wild, man. He's a gambler. And maybe he says, you know what, if our offense can't put up points, we don't deserve to win. And we might just go ahead and go for this 4th and whatever it might possibly be. And there's over the middle. Interception over the middle. Chicago Bears, number 33, picks him off. That's Bryce for an interception. Oakland still has 3 timeouts, so it's not over yet. But big interception right there for the Chicago defense. Just really shut down this Raiders. And there's Carr again, just wait a second. He threw it a little bit too early. There was a bunch of guys in that spot still trying to figure out, which guy they were really going to hold on to, playing a little man coverage. I think he had a little more time than he liked to believe. A handoff up the middle. There goes Duke Johnson. And the 1st down pretty much going to end the game. And Duke Johnson is fighting. He's going to make it really difficult for Oakland to get stopped right now. 2nd and 1 on the Oakland Raiders 34-yard line.
Yeah, and that's the Derek Carr we know and love here. Doing something dumb when it came to crunch time. All you had to do there was not turn it over, kick the field goal, tie it up. But instead, they throw the interception, essentially icing the game. And that is one of those things that, I've got to wonder here if you're Oakland's coaching staff, you can't be putting the ball in Derek Carr's hands when the game matters. And that's something you got to worry about with your star quarterback.
And that looks like it's going to pick up the 1st down, and that's pretty much going to be the game right there for the Oakland Raiders. As Duke Johnson picks us up, Oakland's not calling the timeout here. If they get a stop, I think they might have maybe 30, 40 seconds left in the game to do something, probably more like 20 to 30, which I don't think would really even be enough for this Oakland team.
Yeah, at this point, with what you've seen from Carr, anything short here of a fumble is probably going to ice this game. It looks like Chicago is just going to come out and they're actually going to kneel on the ball, just expecting to give the ball back to Oakland with a few seconds. So they're not scared of this Oakland offense.
Oakland elects not to call the timeout. I think it was game anyways. So 2nd and 11. That's going to pretty much do it, unless Oakland did burn a timeout.
That clock's running, looks like, maybe. All right, well, that's
let's get to the player of the game. This game's pretty much over. It's going to be Chicago Bears broadcast number 53, and that's going to do it right there. My math maybe have been a little off, most likely. You live with it, Jack Del Rio. Little discipline over there on the sideline. Raiders just did not give a great effort. But who on the Chicago Bears team would you be interested in giving this NBL Live broadcast 53 player of the game to?
I like Callahan. I think those sacks really added up. Obviously, you normally don't give it to a DB for his sack work, but those were 2 big sacks that took him out of down and distances on drives that appeared to be working well for Oakland. So I like Callahan as the player of the game.
Yeah, but I'm agreeing with that as well. Bryce Callahan is going to be NBL Live Player of the Game for the Chicago Bears, Oakland Raiders, broadcast number 53. I've said it almost 53 times. That's right. So we got some more games coming up in our schedule, man. Make sure you stay tuned to our channel for Gibbs and Sonny. We hope y'all enjoyed the broadcast. Stay tuned, subscribe, and we have some Commissioner Corner Podcast Live is going to be this Friday. We also have some more NBL Live content coming up Monday or Sunday night. We're going to be having a game with the New York Jets, which is sure to be a great game upcoming. So just check back for that. We'll be posting on our Twitter at Bomberly. Give us a follow there as well. And for Sonny Weaver, for Gibbs behind the scenes, pulling the strings, I'm your host, Bomber, telling you good night, and we will see you next time.